Ahoy! After I posted the video on newborn photography, a lot of people asked me to do a video on what I do photography-wise. So, here you go! In the 7 years that I've been studying photography, I have dabbled in a little bit of everything. Runway, fashion, advertisement. I ended up working with one of the contestants off America's Next Top Model once. That was an interesting experience in and of itself. Career-wise, I tend to keep coming back to portfolio buildings and worked with everything from very, very young children and babies all the way up to women who wanted to get into modeling in their 40s. And my own personal life and what I would consider the most successful aspect of my photography career, it tends to revolve around trick photography. Now, if you'd like a little bit of information on trick photography, please go to this timestamp. I have a little bit I would like to discuss about my previous video on newborns before I get into the trick photography. As far as my newborn video goes, I don't understand how it is questionable that you would want a educated and experienced photographer to work with your newborn. I don't understand how that is even up for debate. Something I did want to make a bit more clear, which seemed to cause a lot of confusion in the previous video, was my stance on lighting. Experienced photographers know what light settings to put their strobes on to make the baby more comfortable. There are also tricks that photographers use, experienced photographers that is, to make the baby more comfortable in general. Any discomfort a baby would feel is made much worse by someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So it's always best to look into what you're doing before you do it. Make sure you know what lighting is best for the baby. Make sure you know what's going to make the baby the most comfortable. As stated in the former video, it's my personal opinion that flash isn't the best way to go with newborn photography. There are plenty of other options. That's why it's so important that parents look into who's photographing their babies. Some parents are fine with their children having the strobe on them. Some aren't. It's just a matter of what you feel is best and finding a photographer who meets those needs. That's enough of the past, darling. It distracts from the now. Okay, hopefully this is going to be a really fun video. I hope this one doesn't offend anybody like the last one did. I hear a lot of people complaining about how fake photographs are. About how you can't believe any photograph that you see now because of all of the Photoshop and all of the manipulations that are going on and all of the technology that we have. You just can't believe a photograph. But the thing is, you could never believe photographs. Photography has been faked for as long as there has been photography. Dodging, burning, exposure alterations, even composites could all be done in the darkroom and were done in the darkroom frequently. Some people did this for funny reasons, and some people did it for more serious reasons, to actually fool people into thinking certain things, believing certain things were real in regards to fake monsters or fake politics. Anything that they would want you to believe that they didn't have proof of, they would just fake it. There were many techniques to get the effect that you wanted from a picture. Like I said, you could dodge and burn. You could manipulate your exposure in the darkroom. You can even make a composite. People took different photographs and cut them out and then made them into new pictures. My favorite way to do these trick photography pictures is by using long exposure. By opening up the shutter for different amounts of time, you can get different effects. Either blurred or crisp or somewhere in between, and different forms of lighting create different effects. At the end of the video, I'm going to put some of the works from my previous art show. Hopefully I'll have another one. But the idea behind these pictures was that all of them are effects that could have been achieved in the early days of photography. Meaning, they were all done in camera, with the exception of the grayscale. I did change that later. But the effects themselves were done in camera without any kind of manipulation from Photoshop. Does this make these photos any better than someone who got the same effect via Photoshop? No, it doesn't. They are both equally as artistic and equally as important and equally fake. To do well, both methods take a lot of practice and a lot of talent. Getting something in camera versus altering it in Photoshop does not make it good or bad, better or worse. It just makes it a different method of getting to the same thing. I like to use the method of long exposure because I'm fascinated about the potential of photography that not many people know anymore. But I'm equally as enthralled with Photoshop and the potential that has. And I am equally proud of something that I worked hard on, that I got in camera, and something that I worked hard on that I got in Photoshop. If you're interested to know how I get these pictures, comment below and I will do a video showing how I do trip photography. And the way I do it may not be the way everybody else does it. But also, if you're interested, Photo Ectreamist is where I learned all of this from. All of the technique, that is. He's extremely talented. Go check him out. And if I can find his link, I'll put it below. If you enjoy these photography videos, please give this one a like so I'll know to do more. And if you haven't already, please give this channel a subscribe. I am working on doing more photography related stuff, but I also do a lot of movie related stuff and books and things like that. I'll be starting a Versus series very soon, and I've decided that the first one is going to be Belle from the live action Beauty and the Beast and Belle from Once Upon a Time, and they are going to be dueling it out, so to speak. It's going to be Belle versus Belle, which one's better. So if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.